Hello, Facebook friends and family. It's Miss Ellen, and you know it must be time for a Gumby Chronicles. If you follow me at all on social media, you know I've been out and about playing on the planet, doing new things, and when I do that, I usually get material to talk to you about. Not that I'm a sage, wise human. It's just that I've been really good at making every mistake that can be made. And sometimes I feel like I can save you a step or two so you don't have to make all the ones I've made. And sometimes I just want to talk to you about what I'm thinking about. And I've been thinking a lot this week about impact. So, full confession, I messed up a couple of weeks ago. And I don't even like to tell you about it because I'm really ashamed of it. But I was running around doing a lot of different errands. It was the Friday night before a big vendor event. I needed to pick up some stuff that was supposed to be ready. And I went to pick it up. It wasn't ready. Now, I didn't throw a wall-eyed fit. My days of wall-eyed fits are over since God got me for the last one I threw back in 2004. Now, I'm not saying in the privacy of my own home I don't have wall-eyed fits with no one around. I do that all the time. But I mean, like, be inappropriate, take out, have a temper tantrum, have a snit with people. I don't do that anymore because God got me when I did. So I tend to be a pressure cooker, and I hold things in and then I let them out, but I try not to do it to other people. But I was short-tempered, I was hungry, I was out of gas, not out of fuel, I was literally at the end of my energy level. And there was something about the person I was talking to that she might as well have held up a sign that said, I could care less. I don't care. Whether your order's ready or not makes me no difference. In fact, you bore me. It was just this total And so I kept trying to press for when might it be ready, when could I expect it to be ready, and I was just getting this like, I don't care. So while I didn't like slam things down and have a fit and I'll never darken this door again, I just, in my own inimitable fashion, with all of my nonverbal, I'm sure, made her feel terrible. And I knew it. I knew I was making her feel bad about how she did her job. I was doing a really good job of making her feel like she was doing an awful job. And I got in my car, and I didn't even close the door, and God got me. Anybody else have a really big conscience? So I knew what I'd done. It's not like you can't live to be 67 tours around the sun and not know when you're being a jerk. And even when I was backing out of the business and saying things like, not your problem, I get it, it's not your problem, I was still being crappy. So later that day, I got a message that my order was ready, and it wasn't the friendliest message I've ever been left. So I went back, and I brought a peace offering, and they weren't having it. Have you ever had someone not accept your apology? Oh, it's awful. I apologized profusely because I was a jerk, and I said words to that effect. I was a jerk, and I'm sorry, and I apologize. And the person I was apologizing to wasn't the person I offended, but word had gotten around the business, so they were all giving me the stink eye because I was a jerk. And God wasn't going to let me get off with just apologizing. He was going to make me feel really bad about it for a while. And I did, and I do still. Because they didn't forgive me. They didn't say, it's okay. You know how you wait for the, it's okay. It didn't come. There was no, it's okay. So that's been on my mind a lot these last couple of weeks. See, I wanted her to know that I thought she'd been unhelpful. I made my point. I let that gal know she was pretty crummy at what she did. To what purpose? It didn't get me my order any faster. It didn't solve my problem. Hey, Beth, it didn't fix anything. I was just a crappy person. and I made somebody else feel crappy. And I could tell when I went back in with my apologies that I had like spread crap all throughout their business. Everyone had known what a jerk I was. And I wasn't even in my finest form. I can be a true jerk if I want to be. But the best thing they could do for me is they didn't accept my apology. They didn't condone it. They didn't make excuses for me. They didn't say it's okay. Because you know what? It wasn't okay. It doesn't matter how tired we are, how bored we are, how hungry we are, how much we needed, what we wanted to get that we're not getting. We don't get to make an impact that is contagious like that and messes up people, particularly when we know we're doing it. So I got a real lesson in this past week. I've had a great week. You guys, thank you so much for everything you did. Every single birthday message was read and put in my heart. I'm very grateful. I got to do a couple of things solo I've never done before. I got to go to an ice show. I got to go to the movies. Wicked is fantastic. I highly recommend it. But sandwiched in between those great days, I had my mammogram, which was fine. But as I was in the waiting room, a woman came in and no smile on her face. She was very, very stern looking. And she went to check in and just kind of blurted her last name to the person checking her in. No pleasantries. No, good morning, my name is, I'm here for my 2 o'clock, just her last name. So the woman, I could hear her, was being very, very officious and very nice and said, and handed her this gizmo where you fill out a screening to check your family history to see if it's warranted that you have genetic testing. All brand new. I had just gotten my tablet and returned it. It was very fascinating. No one had ever handed me a tablet to answer a questionnaire. It was really cool. And the questions were fascinating. And I really learned a lot by doing it. Anyway, it took like a minute to check the boxes. Like it was no big deal. So it's a small waiting room. And we're all kind of like out in the open, so there's no real privacy. So I can hear and observe the woman having a wall-eyed fit, and she goes off. I will not. And like I jumped out of my chair. I responded negativity so much. I'm like, oh, back up the bus. What? Like I know I'm visibly going. And she proceeds to let the poor receptionist know she is under no terms whatsoever. No, is she not? No. And I can't see everything that's going on, but I see that the receptionist has now left with tears. Okay, now I'm kind of getting mad because we just don't get to go do that. So another girl comes up and she says, I'm so sorry. What was your name? And the woman said, I already said. Oh, so we're just going to be all that in a bag of chips. And the woman said, is there a problem? Do you want to fill out a paper version? I've got a paper version of this you can fill out. I said, no, I am not going to fill that out. Are we clear? And the woman just withered. And then she leaves. And so now she's got to go collect herself. And then they call me back to go fill out my insurance again. Now, to be sure, it's like the 10th time I've given the same information. I get it. If we choose to, we could get really annoyed by that, but pick your battles, right? Pick your battles. Well, this woman that was helping me looked stricken, and you could see the contagion had already passed. So I whispered to her very quietly that I was sorry for that encounter and that she was doing an excellent job. And I said, do you have Post-it notes? And she said she did. So I grabbed 3 of them and jotted quick notes real quick. Passed one over to her that said, you're awesome. She got a big smile. She said, thank you. And tears got in her eyes. I said, no. She said, it's one person like that wrecks everything. I said, only if we let him. Only if we let him. Let's not. And I said, would you please let everybody know? That's why I come here. I travel an hour and a half to come here to your center to get this done every year because you're just remarkable at what you do. Well, she brightened. So then I went past the reception area and I slipped the notes back. The one original receptionist still hadn't come back up front. I mean, for all I know, she grabbed her purse and left. The patient who had caused the melee, was sitting in her chair, legs crossed, with her foot like this, like if you've ever seen someone like hyper fidgety, like I understand a little kind of swinging back, but this was like bang, bang, like she was bruising herself with each kick. I mean, she was telegraphing to everyone, I am so mad at everybody on the planet. And I thought, wow, this has been like 10 minutes of her snit. Like she's not done. She's still like in mid snit. I thought, wow, what an impact. Because she'd made me feel like my stomach was in knots. I don't like when people are mean. I don't. What a jerk. And everything in me wanted to say something to her. The benevolent part of me wanted to say something like, it appears you're having a really awful day. And then I thought, no, because your motive is sucking. Your motive isn't really to help the woman. Your motive is to let her know what a witch she was. And I saw wicked, and now I can't say witch in a derogatory fashion. So anyway, I had my exam. It was fine. I never saw the woman again. On my way out, I told the girls one more time what a great job they were doing and how much I appreciated how professional they were, blah, blah, blah. But I couldn't get it off my mind. You see, that woman with her snit-throwing, kicking, wall-eyed fit. And I'm not here to make excuses. Because, see, we do that. We try to make excuses for the way we behave sometimes. Like, under certain circumstances, you know, there's a good reason to be a flying, flaming freak. Actually, there isn't. And we know better. I have never once, raise a hand if you have, but I have never once thrown a wall-eyed, stupid temper tantrum, which I used to be really good at in my 40s. I have never once done that and come away feeling righteous or vindicated. I always felt like, wow, did you lose it? Now, in the privacy of my own home, when I make messes and I have tantrums and I'm a mental case, yeah, it feels very satisfying when I'm all done. Then I have to clean up the mess I made. So what's the point? The point is we know darn well we have an impact. I know when I'm checking out my groceries and there's a new checker slower than molasses who's just going to take 20 days to ring out the person in front of me. And then they're going to pull out a checkbook and days are going to pass and I'm not going to. I tell myself, well, if you'd allowed yourself more margin, you wouldn't be so impatient. But I know that I'm fully capable of making the look, making the sigh, do the arm cross, do the foot pat, do the can you honestly believe that there's anybody this stupid and slow on the planet? But you know, as I've gotten older, I find it less and less important that anyone know how I feel or what I'm thinking. There was a time I just felt it so critical that I expressed myself on all matters of all topics at any given time. I'm pretty proud of the fact that I got through the last couple of years keeping my mouth shut on a whole range of topics. It's like a muscle, keeping your mouth shut. The world doesn't need to hear your opinion on everything. Ooh, that's a newsflash for some. I'm just saying we get a choice of the impact we make every day. But make no mistake, we're making one. Like every day we go out in the world, we are making an impact. We are either elevating the conversation, making someone feel better about themselves, making someone glad they came to work. You are a rock. And the whole world is a big old pond, and we're making ripples. And whether those are happy ripples or ripples of awfulness, they are going to spread. I'm hoping we counteracted the negativity. I'm hoping I counteracted my own. Because make no mistake, when you're a booger bear, you're going to feel it, you're going to pay for it. You're going to build up bad ripples, and nobody wants a whole bunch of bad ripples in their life. I know. All right, that's what I got for you this Saturday. Recognize every minute of every day with your family, with your animals, with your neighbors, with strangers. You're making an impact. And it can be so subtle. Have you ever intentionally smiled at someone and watched what happened? It's almost virtually impossible for them not to smile back. Now, I think the leg shifting fidgeter battle axe probably would not have smiled back at me. I'm just thinking. She had her mind set. But the thing is she could have said it any way she wanted to. We get to choose. No one ever makes us feel anything. I had a real good friend who told me this example, and it stuck with me, so I'll end here. But she was with a girlfriend commiserating, married life or something, and the woman said, "Oh, he just makes me so mad." And my wise friend said, "Can he make you fat?" And her friend kind of stopped in her tracks and said, "What? What do you mean? What?" She said, "Can he make you fat?" And she said, "No, he can't make me fat. Only I can make me fat." Oh, and she got it. So nobody can make us do anything. Nobody can make us mean. Nobody can make us kind. We get to choose every day. I'm saying we're going to try really hard to choose kind every time. At least that's our goals, right? Goals, Gumby says, goals. Thank you for watching. Because if you don't watch, I'm talking to myself, and that's a whole nother video.